Just the first
Yeah.
payment hitting the bank account is just, it's a crazy feeling.
You were so skeptical to start.
To be honest, I think to myself, if I didn't join this program, I probably would have given up. I told you exactly what the problem was with the client. I couldn't close them. And
Yeah.
then you told me to try the risk reversal. And then I shot him that text message 2 days later and closed him. Right? He's 230K followers. Like, he's a growing business. Like, it's the perfect client. It's a super client. You know what I mean? It's the perfect client to scale up with. So we agreed on 2K a month base and then 10% rev share.
I think you landed him within like 2 weeks of starting or something.
Yeah,
It was
it
it
was
was
just
fast.
it was really fast. That was the biggest game changer for me, having someone in the industry. Yeah, I'm really excited, dude. I mean, I can just feel like this is the start of something big here. You know, like that's why you have a mentor, is to help you get to your result faster and avoid the same mistakes that they made. Yeah, pretty crazy stuff.
Yeah, bro. Dude, I'm proud of you. My man. Cool. It's good,
How
bro.
how we doing?
Good. The real question is, how are you doing?
Dude, I'm awesome.
I can tell. That's the biggest
Yeah,
smile I've seen.
yeah, seriously.
Yeah, bro. I'm so happy for you, dude. Like, I know you really worked hard on this. The smile, bro, the smile.
Yeah.
You've been at it. And that's what happens. I mean, based on what you sent me, like that client's huge. He has like quarter mil followers and like a really
Yeah.
big audience.
It's pretty crazy. Yeah. I mean, he's definitely one of the biggest guys in the fat loss space right now, for sure. So it's pretty wild.
Yeah, I can tell. What did you guys agree on? How much are you getting paid? Commission structure? Like, give me all the details.
So we agreed on 2K a month base and then 10% rev share with
Okay.
a risk reversal for the first 2 months, essentially. Basically, I won't give him his money back, but I said, if I don't get you X amount of dollars in the first 2 months, then I work with you until we do, and then we hop on, then we continue the rev share structure.
Okay.
Because that was the bottom line for him. It was just, I followed up with him. I had a call with him last week. And he was like, "Oh, like I'm sold. I'm sold. I just, the funds and everything." And, you know, it's kind of just a common excuse I feel like I hear on sales
Yeah.
calls. So I just I shot him a message. I'm like, "Hey man, like, if what's the bottom line here? If it's price, like, are you open to doing a risk reversal
Hmm.
structure?" And he was like, "Yeah, for sure. That's literally the only thing holding me back. Like, I can tell you know what you're talking about." Um, so yeah, we hopped on a call and I closed him, collected the first 1K, and then I'm gonna collect the next 1K in a week from now. And then
Okay.
we wrote up a contract. So
So a risk reversal is like a really strong objection handling technique. I'm
mhm.
just curious, like, where'd you learn it from?
Well, actually, I was on call last week, and
Yeah.
that's literally what happened. Like I was on the call with him last week, went on the group call on Friday. I told you exactly what the problem was with the client. I couldn't close him, and
Yeah.
then you told me to try the risk reversal, and then I shot him that text message 2 days later and closed him.
Yeah, bro. That was literally like 6 days ago.
Yeah.
I'll play the clip.
But he was just saying like, oh, like the month to month is kind of like what kills it for me.
Yeah, you need to employ a risk reversal.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But yeah, risk reversals are great just because you remove any of the doubt or I mean, the best word to use is risk on his end
Mhm.
because you get the opportunity to work with him while at the same time he actually gets, real value. And especially when you know all the right systems and how to actually bring him exactly like qualified leads from his audience to convert to his offer, you'll make
Mhm.
him money. And there's no denying, like when you track everything and you set it up properly, you can literally show, hey, look, since you started working with me, you made X more money, and like ultimately you take a percentage of that.
Yeah, 100%. So I think that was kind of the nail in the coffin, really.
Hmm.
And he didn't even really care. Like I told him, like, I was completely open. I'm like, I kind of have one case study. I worked with this client, helped him gain a couple thousand followers. He crossed 5 figures a month, but I'm not going to say that was all me or all him. You know what I mean? We worked together, and
Yep.
he didn't really care. He didn't care about previous experience because he knew what I was talking, or he knew that I knew what I was talking about. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. You showcase that you are an expert in the field and you build some authority. So you said you had a previous case study. Did you have that previous case study before we started working together, or was that the client that we landed before
That
this
was
one?
the client we landed before this one. So that was just a
Okay.
testimonial just for the case study.
Okay.
Um, and then that's what really I used that as leverage for all of my future calls, and that's
Makes
what landed
sense.
me this. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I think you didn't have any experience when we first started working together. Like you were a complete beginner, or
Yeah,
were you more in the middle?
well, I tried doing it by myself, to be honest.
Uh-huh.
I was doing a bunch of cold outreach and just like what I'd send a couple hundred DMs and just like no replies, no calls, nothing. And
Yeah.
that was the point where I was like, okay, like this is ridiculous. And
I
then yeah,
remember you were
within
skeptical, bro. You were so skeptical to
yeah,
start.
yeah. Well, because I guess I had this preconceived like notion about online mentorships, right? And like
Hmm.
a lot of people do, to be honest, about like yeah, people think it's like a scam of an industry, but I mean, if the industry was a complete scam, then it wouldn't have lasted this long and it wouldn't have grown into what it has. And clearly, obviously, it's worked now. So
Yeah.
the proof
Yeah.
is in the pudding, right? Like,
The way I see it, it's like, if one girl cheats on you, that doesn't mean that all women are cheaters.
yeah.
So I think it just gets a bad rep because of people that don't show it and teach it properly. But what do you
Mhm.
think kind of like pushed you over the line to actually go and like take this chance and actually start working with me and get these results?
I mean, I think it was the call together. I think you really outlined like where I was going to be in like the next year if I
Hmm.
hadn't figured it out, if I hadn't joined the program. And I think you're probably right. I don't think I would be in the position I am today. And yeah, that was really it. I think it was one thing you said. It was just like there's people who take action, there's people who don't take action. And like if you're going to be successful, like how you do one thing is how you do everything. So like the
Yeah.
fact that you like take a risk and do something and you straight up told me you're like well you can't 100% trust me like that's just the nature of the internet you can't 100% trust anyone but like at a certain point you just have to like take a risk and jump in and that's kind of what
Yeah.
pushed me over the edge completely.
Dude, like, nothing in life is guaranteed. Like, even when you enter a relationship, like, they could still cheat on you. They could still break your heart.
Yeah.
Everything is uncertain, especially like with business. Like, if you want certainty, if you want to get paid every single month, like, go get a 9 to 5 job. You know,
Yeah, seriously, yeah.
but
So
if
it's
you want to take a chance to invest in yourself and actually learn the skills to land clients, I mean, you know this better than anyone. It does take some time to get started, but once you really get your foot in the door, it compounds and then it
well
grows
that's
exponentially.
that's what I mean now that I have like this guy that I'm working with. I mean like the fact that I even if I work on his team like for a certain period of time, like it's just like the amount of leverage that creates for myself,
Hmm.
for future clients, for everything. Yeah, it's crazy the doors that this is going to open because this guy also mentors fitness coaches as well. He's really connected in the space. So he said, yeah, like this is like a long-term partnership we're developing here. And yeah, pretty crazy stuff.
Yeah, bro. Dude, I'm proud of you because like
Yeah, I
you
appreciate it.
literally followed everything like step by step. And you were
Mhm.
in the calls and the really good part there is that you can like just see how I think. Like the more calls we have and the more we talk together, you can see from like a business owner perspective, what am I looking for in a content operator? Like why would you need to position yourself like in XYZ in order to able like one provide results, but two be my right-hand man? And like when you start thinking of it because we're talking about it, you can then apply this to your own content operating business with your own clients and ultimately like get paid up front, but then have that back end percentage as well.
Hmm. Yeah, totally. I think that was huge, like going to the weekly calls and hearing from other people in the program as well, right? Because there's other people that have been successful. Like I
Mhm.
learned some things from Chris. He taught me some stuff on the group call like 2 weeks ago. And that was like also stuff that really helped me nail down my offer and like what
Mm.
closed my client for me, essentially.
Yeah, dude, I think Chris is at like 15K per month now, which is pretty cool
Crazy.
because he's 19 and he like dropped out of college like 4 months ago.
That's crazy.
Um, that reminds me, I gotta show you this, bro. We've been building an AI outbound system that auto DMs clients and lands them for you within your niche.
Yeah, I saw that. Okay, I saw that you guys were kind of working on it, but
Yeah, I'll give you like a little like sneak peek here because we're still right now we're at 30% reply rate, which is
Hmm.
pretty good. Like out of 10 clients that you message, 30 will hit you back and you can potentially close one of them, which as you know could easily be like 2 to 5K per month.
Yeah, I mean
So
that's pretty crazy still.
yeah, no, it's awesome. Like the really cool thing is that it actually has a built-in pipeline now. And so
Wow.
you can
Okay.
automatically set these to like replied and then it organizes it for you so we won't have to use Notion anymore. You can create campaigns around it. And then in terms of like prospecting, yeah, it's all niche specific now and you can hit markets.
Holy crap. That's crazy.
So yeah, I know it's about to be done. So that's really exciting. And like we've been running it ourselves first because obviously we want to get good results, but we connected
Hmm.
it to ManyChat. And so now the ManyChat software, which already is linked to your Instagram and tracks
Hmm.
like what type of content makes how much money, it now
Hmm.
will link to your Instagram and will DM for you. Like even if you're sleeping, you can have it like set to run. Let's say 50 prospects a day.
How long did it take you guys to like create this?
Yeah, it took a while. It
I was
did
gonna
take a
say
while.
this is pretty like this is pretty nuts. I've tried, well, I tried doing it a little bit myself, to be honest. Like I tried building some sort of because I wanna be able to do some warm DMing for my clients for
Hmm.
especially in the fitness niche. Like warm DMing is huge, and this guy doesn't have setters on his team. Simon or Goliath, I guess is his Instagram.
Yeah.
He doesn't have any setters on his team. He has closers, but I said like this is a huge opportunity to increase conversions by just having a setter for like every new follower or every new qualified follower that comes to your page.
Yeah. Yeah. So there you go. You can track it now. Bro,
Hmm.
I'm probably the first person to do it in the space. Like I check the everything. Like no one else
Hmm.
has an AI software that auto DMs people. I think people will start to copy us soon, but as of
Hmm.
now, we're the only people in this niche that have it. So like
That's pretty
huge competitive
nuts.
advantage.
Yeah, especially at the start here. That's pretty crazy.
Yeah, we're going really heavy into AI just so we can automate these pipelines and streamline the process a little bit quicker because if you can have one client where he's getting results and he's happy, you in theory don't need to hire anyone else except maybe an editor and you can
Hmm.
just continue to stack clients and you can have like even if you only have three big clients, I mean that's easily like 20 to 30 maybe even 40K per month like, depending on like how well you actually go and set up the system.
Hmm. Yeah, that's something. Yeah, that's crazy. I can't believe
Yeah,
that.
I'm excited to share with everyone, dude.
Yeah, I'm really excited to see how it does, and that 30% reply rate is pretty insane as well. Like that's nuts.
Bro, it is. And these aren't like, million like follower accounts. Like these are just regular accounts that are sending out the DMs and it's still at like 27, 30%.
So how does it scrape the data? Like does it use like API-ify to like go
Yeah.
in and scrape like the Instagram data? Do you like does it scrape any of like the scripting info, or is it more like based on their like
It takes the transcripts from all their videos or all their top 10 most liked videos. It's connected to Appify. We have a custom token. It's a bunch of like, jargon, but really like
yeah,
in
yeah, yeah.
layman's terms, it simply finds a unique angle to outreach them with. So
Okay.
it knows that's how it knows like are you in fitness? Are you in e-commerce? And then it'll take a quote from the videos and it will use that in the outreach method. And then there's type A and there's type B. Type A DMing, and you can manually set this, is more of like a soft close. It's like giving them a compliment, getting in their ecosystem, asking them a question, building rapport.
Hmm.
Type B is the framework, the outreach system that I have in the program right now. It's just like that, but it actually gives you the custom angle for you.
Okay, right.
So
That's
yeah,
great.
it might sound a little bit overwhelming, but like when you see it all written out,
No, it
you'll
makes
see it
sense. It
makes
makes
a lot of
sense.
sense.
Does it nurture the replies as well?
That would be type A. Yeah, it
Okay.
can respond as well for you.
Okay. Wow. Yeah, that's nuts, dude. That's insane.
It's honestly kind of hard to tell that it's AI, and honestly with the pictures too. So you know how like a huge part of the program, like weeks 2 and 3, is building your social capital, just so people think you're a real person, they take you seriously, and like they want to
Yeah,
pay
yeah, yeah.
you.
Hmm.
I did a 7-day challenge where I tried content operating from scratch, like last week. And I
Hmm.
built a new Instagram page and I used Higgsfield AI to create me a bunch of like AI Emil avatars.
Oh yeah, you
And
showed that a little bit in
let
the
me show it,
in the
bro.
weekly call.
It looks so real. And then I DM'd a client and he couldn't tell it was AI. And I got him on a call and I closed him for 3.5K.
Jeez.
So
That's insane. Just using AI photos on your
yeah, I'll
Instagram.
have a video on the channel. It's sick, bro. Well, I did build him like a custom strategy, and ultimately
hmm
that's kind of like what got him over the edge. But like, I don't think you'd be able to tell that's AI.
No, there's no way.
And there's variety too.
Especially if someone's like just kind of like looking through your
Yeah, just
Instagram,
browsing through.
just seeing if you're a real person, whatever.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's insane.
We're moving quick here, bro. We're ahead of the curve. And honestly, that's a lot about what online business is. Like,
hmm
it's market timing. If you bought Bitcoin 10 years ago, you'd be rich.
hmm
If you buy it now, good luck. It's not going to do anything.
Right.
And
Well,
so I
yeah.
think that's why content operating naturally is like low barrier to entry and works for people that are like beginners like yourself, at least when they start, because there's not that much competition and everyone needs it. Like the demand is skyrocketing because there's not a business in the world that can survive without content. Like everyone needs advertising.
Yeah, yeah, it's true. Especially organic is huge now. I mean, like people like Sue or like he's scaled up his entire info business just with organic content. Like not he just started running ads, I think like after he hit 200K a month, something like that. Like
Yeah,
just like crazy, crazy stuff.
I know, bro. And like 200K a month that's 2.4 million a year. So
Yeah, that's like it's
all from
almost like
organic content operating, like
all from
advertising.
organic. Yeah, exactly. Well, just because people don't are, I feel like people are kind of tired of being like sold to all the time. You know what I mean? Whereas
Hmm.
like you with organic, you can just generate a lot of trust and inbound because people see that you're a real person doing real things, getting real results, you know?
Yeah, I think it just comes down to having the right strategy.
hmm
Like a lot of content these days is just people copying others and like rinse and repeat ideas. There's no originality, there's no like context around it that relates to what they sell. And that's why it doesn't convert. But then
hmm
when you actually work with someone like us who knows the strategy, they just see exponential results and they're like,
hmm
they had no idea that they could have been making 10 times more from their audience. And obviously we get a percent of that.
Yeah, yeah, 100%. And that's something because I do eventually want to move in with Simon because he has a YouTube. He's like a full, obviously he has 250K, like he's like a full-time creator.
Hmm.
It's something I want to move into
Should
like
we pull him
scale
up?
deep.
Let's see.
Yeah,
You want to
yeah,
send me the link to his Instagram?
yeah, yeah. Um, it's something I want to move into is like helping him with his long form funnel as well, getting him set up with like a proper closers hub so we can like gather all the data from his calls and like find common objections and then use that in his content. Um,
Right.
and like get like essentially just like become more of an asset. Like I sold him on the short form. Like I'm like, okay, like I do the scripting, editing, like strategy for all your short form content.
Hmm.
But I said like I let him know I'm like I eventually do want to move my way into like scaling deeper. I want to set up like DM setters for you or an AI DM setter probably now. Um,
Yeah.
and set you up with like a proper funnel and like closers hub and just track everything and so we can track exactly where like you're leaking leads within your funnel.
Hmm. You can see my screen, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So what's his exact offer?
Um, so it's a little weird right now because he has one-on-one fat loss coaching is like his main offer. Right
Okay.
now, he does like once a year before summer, he does like a 90-day fat loss challenge.
Hmm.
Um, and that's just like a low ticket $200 thing. He works with you for I guess 90 days and like you lose as much fat as you can. It's like a challenge before there's like a summer shredding competition he does. And he said that brings him in quite a bit of money, but like the main thing we're going to be focusing on is his one-on-one fat loss coaching.
Okay. How much does his one-on-one cost?
It costs it depends. Like the closers work within a range, I think of he said around like 300 to $600 a month on
Okay.
average.
For
And
how
then he has
long?
some just per month.
Okay. Oh, so there's no like yearly.
No, no, there's no, he doesn't do that, I guess. And then he has some clients who like pay super high ticket, like $1,000 a month, but that's like a very select few, and they price you out on the call and stuff like that.
Gotcha. And you take 10% of every close
Yeah, I take 10% of every close for all new leads generated
on top of the 2K a month base.
on top of the 2K a month base. Yeah.
Okay. I think the biggest lever you can pull in the content is really understanding the pain points of his audience. So
Hmm.
I it seems like he's selling to like a demographic of primarily older men.
Yeah.
Am I right on that?
I think so. Yeah, it
Okay.
seems like it. Yeah, especially like very overweight because his whole thing is he lost 150 pounds.
Which is
And he's like
amazing.
now, yeah, which is crazy. And now he's like a bodybuilder. And he's like shredded like as fuck.
Okay.
And he, you know,
So, you're not selling the program. You're also not selling the weight loss. What you're selling is a new identity. And like that's the consumer psychology that will actually influence purchasing behavior.
mm-hmm.
So in the content, talk about, his transformation, point A to point B, and then talk about point B, how he now feels.
Right.
Because the muscles and like the fat loss, that's the deliverable. Like that's what happened, but that's not what you
Hmm.
sell on. You sell on maybe now he gets more dates.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that's a good angle.
Because that's the
Yes.
insecurity that you target. And to be
Hmm.
honest, people don't care, especially his target audience. They're not too worried about the program or the fat loss initiative, like whether it's 6 weeks, whether it's eight. They just want the end result, which is they want to feel
Yeah.
confident in their bodies and not feel like they're ugly.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. I could see that. So, yeah, I guess that's a really good angle to go after. Selling the result and how you feel after the fat loss.
Yeah, like all of marketing is selling the result, but like a common beginner mistake is they'll sell the actual fat loss. And
Hmm.
yeah, you're right, that is the result. But the discrepancy between result and identity is huge, and people buy when they feel understood, and they feel when they feel understood, they get excited on like the shift they'll have. Like, what's the impact on their lives? Well, now they'll feel better about themselves, like the confidence, the dates, like we talked about. Like, what else can we think of? Start writing that out on a list, and then make sure that every like video you make employs at least one of those like strategies, angles, or targeting, because that's what's going to get it to actually like drive more revenue to his business.
Okay. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Because yeah, right now his content is kind of it's pretty generic, It's just
That's
like, oh,
that's what
like
what I thought when I just glanced over it right now.
it's like kind of like, okay, like it's week 29 of my like summer fat loss phase. And then like he's like with a client, but he's like, today we're hitting the gym, and it's like kind of like vlog style.
Hmm.
There's no like pain. You know what I mean? He's selling in the content. There's nothing like that's gonna drive someone to
Yeah.
purchase other than the fact that maybe they just kind of like him. But that's really his only selling point right now.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, so with organic marketing, no one really watches one video and buys. Like
Hmm.
typically they watch one video, they watch a second video, they watch a third video. It's not like ads. With ads, you watch
Hmm.
one and the whole point is you have to convert on that one creative.
Hmm.
But with organic, like we've talked about, it's a funnel. You have your top of funnel really broad, get people interested. Middle of funnel, get them in your ecosystem. Bottom of funnel, sell.
Hmm.
And so what you have to think about is the broad picture, which is his Instagram account is an asset. And so you have to think about content strategy in terms of his brand, not necessarily video to video. Like you want to incorporate in the videos, like every video should target a pain point, like we mentioned earlier,
Hmm.
but also keep in mind, like, how does this play into his brand?
Right.
Because remember, you just said like a second ago, oh, it seems generic.
Yeah.
So if you feel like that, someone that just discovered him probably feels like that too.
Yeah, right. And then they don't really know if he's like the coach for them, you know?
You need to build authority and you need to build trust.
Yeah.
Authority,
Okay.
it's like results, proof-based, case studies, challenges, like show, don't tell.
Mm.
And then trust is authenticity, it's personality driven. It's a little bit more like the pathos, instead of logical reasoning,
Yeah.
because like it is a personal brand. Like personal is was in the word, right? So we have to optimize
Right.
for both.
Hmm. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Because I gave him a couple, I mean, I gave him some homework when we first started. It's just a couple brand sheets to fill out. But it's
Okay.
like, okay, like your ICP, your dream follower, what makes you unique? Like there's a whole sheet basically on like contrarian positioning. It's like what does everyone else in the market think? And like what do you think that's different from everyone else in the market? Um, and then I mean, there's like, yeah, I think there's like six of those that he's gonna fill out.
Okay.
And then also like we're like creating like the belief chain, kind of like you know what a belief chain is, right?
Yeah, do you use it sounds like when you mentioned contrarian, you took that from the custom GBT in the program. Do you use that for the
Yeah.
notes?
Yeah, I do sometimes. I use it for like just like it spits out like 50 ideas for me. So that and it's really good, especially if you just have to feed it the
Prompts?
right data, the right prompts. Exactly. If you're just like, okay, like this is the niche, this is like the positioning, this is the angle we're going to use for the video. It should be hitting like this pain point. Give me 50 hooks that hit this. It'll spit out like quite a few that are definitely good for the videos.
Yeah. Bro, it's like it's so crazy to talk to you now and like all these a little bit more complex topics because like when we first started, like this was all new to you. So seeing like your progress is just like amazing.
Yeah, I didn't even know, like, I mean, I didn't even know what a pain point was, to be honest, when I first started this program. Like, I knew nothing about sales. I mean, no, I can't, I worked like door knocking for 2 weeks one time, and that was
Yeah.
the extent of like what I knew for selling products to people. So, yeah, it's pretty crazy where I am now.
Wait, did you do any other online businesses before content operating?
Um, no, I don't know.
So first online business and you're already like making money.
Yeah, pretty crazy actually. I mean, it's not the most common story, but I figured like I never wanted to like start something and then just not finish it. It's
Hmm.
like one of those things where it's like, okay, if I'm going to commit to something, I'm going to commit to it until I make money with it. Because you know what I mean? And then I heard about content operating. I knew it was a lower barrier to entry, especially for someone who hadn't done any online business before. So
Right.
that was basically the biggest selling point for me was that I knew I didn't have to have anything built up before I did this.
Bro, I wish I was in your position when I started too.
Yeah.
Like I went drop shipping, crypto, like I did the whole circle and eventually to come to where I am now.
hmm Yeah, I mean, I've heard your story. It's pretty crazy. But that's the whole point of the mentorship, right? You did all that so like your students don't have to go through all of that.
Yeah.
That's what you're paying for at the end of the day. It's like if I did content operating for 5 years and never gave up, sure, I'm sure I could have made it work and maybe landed my first client. But
Hmm.
5 years, like I mean, like like that's why you have a mentor is to help you get to your result faster and avoid the same mistakes that they made.
Bro, 100%. Like I have a mentor and like I like still learn and my mentor has a mentor. Like
hmm
no one learns this on their own or if they do, you're right. They waste 5 years and not only time but money too. Like they make expensive mistakes when they could have gotten it right from the first time around.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't know. I think that was the biggest thing. And I just knew I needed to find something where I wasn't gonna do it for 6 months and then quit. Because that's what kills. I
That's the
mean,
worst.
that's the worst. Yeah, I mean, I learned that once I got into Alex Hormozzi's content ecosystem about like shiny object syndrome. And
Mm.
actually, it was funny because right as I started doing all this online business stuff and like started the content operator program, that's when I started getting fed all of those like business videos, business reels, because it started
I can
obviously
imagine.
resonating with me a little bit
Yeah.
more. So yeah, anyways, pretty funny.
Well, you mentioned ecosystem, and that's kind of the cool thing is like now that you're a successful content operator and you did it in a saturated niche, right? People say
Mhm.
it's hard to get into it, but when you have the right systems, it doesn't mean you can't do it.
Well, exactly. I mean, saturation is just like it's not really you hear it all the time from business owners. Like it's not like saturation isn't like a real it's not as big of a problem as people make it out to be. Because if you work harder than
Yeah.
everyone else in the niche and it might take you a little bit longer than some other niches, but at the end of the day, it's still an in-demand skill. If people pay other people money to do it, then you can get people to pay you money to do it. You know what I mean?
Right. It's like return on investment. Like if
Yeah.
if I'm your client and you're gonna make me a video that gets me 50K, Why wouldn't
Mhm.
I give you 10%? Like you just made me an extra 45K and I did nothing.
Exactly. Yeah. And it works for any niche. It's just like fitness is just, there's so many people who are into fitness. So it's like,
Yeah, it's
obviously,
big, it's broad. And that's why we
it's
narrow it
naturally,
down.
exactly. That's why we narrow it down with the ICP and everything. And that's what helped land me literally my first, my testimonial client was like literally my, like, pretty much my golden, like, North Star ICP, like the
I
helping busy professional man.
I think you landed him within like 2 weeks of starting or something.
Yeah.
It was fast.
It was really fast. That was the biggest game changer for me, having someone in the industry. And he like obviously helped me. I helped him. So
So
it
wait, so
wasn't
we
money
started
based.
working together 2 weeks in. You got that testimonial client, which like you learned from, you used his name to get
Yeah.
even more clients, and now you landed like your biggest client, which is
Yeah.
Simon.
Which is Simon. Yeah.
Okay, God,
So
yeah.
I didn't get paid from Adam, but in certain, like you said, like in certain niches, you're just not going to make money right out the bat, especially something like fitness, because
Hmm.
it's more inherently lower ticket because it's so saturated. Um, and there's less money available. People are less willing to pay you right out the gate if you don't have experience.
I
So
think
that's
I wouldn't say there's less money available. I'd say there's a bigger pool of like creators that are still more in like the intermediate stage.
yeah.
And so that's why it seems like there's more high ticket. But like the minute you land a big client, you'll see it's like different because they have more authority and they can charge higher prices.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. Okay. Yeah,
Yeah,
there's just a lot of the market is just flooded with low ticket right now.
agreed. Yeah.
For people who don't really know what they're doing, they just like, like see people making 20K a month as fitness coaches and they want to start their own brand because they have a half decent physique. Um, so
Yeah.
yeah, so I mean seriously, it's a
No,
problem
no, no.
right
Yeah,
now. But
it's true, bro.
even with all that, like I was able to land two clients now. So
Hell yeah, bro.
it just shows saturation is just a myth.
Yeah, dude. It's like I want to be an NBA player and yeah, it's saturated. Everyone wants to play basketball, but does that mean it's not possible? Well, no, it just means I got to be better than everyone else.
Yeah, exactly. You just have to position yourself correctly. And you have to, like you said, you talk about it all the time. It's like framing yourself as an authority within the niche,
Hmm.
um, leveraging free work, like just offering free value when you pitch right off the bat, um, to get like a first client or get your foot in the door. And that was the biggest game changer for me, for
Got it.
Adam. Getting Adam was the free value.
Yeah, and then you had Adam's name, and well, that brings me to my earlier point about the ecosystem. Like
Hmm.
now that you're a successful content operator, like whenever I get opportunities, like I can hand them over to you. I think actually I did with
Yeah.
Bashar. He had
Yeah. Yeah.
like 2 million and he was looking for something. I think he was looking for something in the middle between content operating and growth operating.
Yeah.
But like we can now kind of like bounce clients around each other and everyone else like in the program that ends up like landing clients because now we're all kind of like vetted. And
Yeah.
so we all know what we're doing, and it kind of creates this like ecosystem or this community of like content operators where really like we can run a niche. Like imagine we get like 5 killers from the program all doing fitness and they all know each other. Like we can
Hmm.
put competitive barriers with everyone else and
Yeah,
ultimately charge
seriously.
higher prices, get the clients more value, and like it all just goes up from there.
And I know now, like I can charge higher prices. Like the fact that I just have this work with Simon,
Hmm.
um, now I know. Like I would literally 2 weeks ago, I was on a call and I was struggling to pitch for like 2K to this
Yeah.
guy with like 3,000 followers. He's making 20K a month, and like I was like just not able to pitch for 2K. But now that I have someone this big that I'm working with, it's just like I wouldn't work with someone like that for less than 4K a month, you know?
Hmm. Bro.
So
Yeah, and I would suggest at minimum.
yeah, minimum. Yeah. So yeah, I'm really excited, dude. I mean, I can just feel like this is the start of something big here. Just the first
Yeah.
payment hitting the bank account is just it's a crazy feeling.
I can tell, bro. I can tell. Like, what's your plan? You said you wanted to potentially like meet him in person and like do some stuff with his content, and then do you want to like go into this full time? Because I know you're still in school, right?
Yeah, I'm still in school right now, and I mean I'm in health and exercise science, so I mean like I'm in that field. I don't know, like I'm not dropping out of university quite yet, but
That's
if I'm
cool.
making
Yeah.
20K a month, I mean,
Well, then all
you know,
bets are off then.
all bets are off. Yeah, exactly. Um, but yeah, I think that's the plan right now is to just keep this one client, scale super deeply with him. I want to because he's from Calgary as well. So ideally like form a
Canada.
long-term relation. Yeah, from like he's like a 4 hour drive away from my city. So
Oh,
like
okay, nice.
super close. Form a long-term relationship with him. Um, absolute like crush it with his content, get him more money. Once I'm getting him more money, I make more money. And then from that point, once I'm kind of able to like scale up with him and probably outsource to a video editor because that's the biggest pain for me is just editing the videos, to be honest.
Hmm.
Once I'm able to do that, then that probably from that point is when I would try and get more clients within the fitness niche.
Yeah, and if you do a good job, you might not even need more clients. Like with my first big, like my Simon was Nathan.
Hmm.
And like, bro, I've been working for like the last 3 years.
Yeah, yeah, that's right.
I don't even consider new clients, and you build like really strong rapport. And you
Hmm.
mentioned that 20K a month, like it becomes super consistent.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's the goal right now. I'm not focusing on doing any outreach at the moment. I just want to really hone in and yeah, dial it in with Simon and get him a ton of results. So it just makes sense.
Hmm.
Just makes sense to keep working with me. I want to become an asset to his team, essentially.
And that's the mindset we talked about, bro.
Yeah.
Like if you're just the operator and you're just trying to land clients for the sake of making money, like, these are business owners. Like these are people that can like see the difference.
Hmm.
Versus if you genuinely want to provide value, well, they're gonna genuinely provide value back to you.
Exactly. Yeah, and he's right. He's 230K followers. Like he's a growing business. I mean, he's got a ton of connections within the industry. It's just like it's the perfect client. It's a super client. You know what I mean? It's the perfect client to scale up with. Because he's at the point where he now, honestly, he probably should have gotten help with his content a while ago,
Yeah,
but he absolutely needs help with his content right now.
I can tell.
Um,
And that's what you're gonna.
yes, yeah, seriously, and that's what we're gonna do. So if we can kill it, like I don't know, if we can kill it together, then sky's the limit.
I know, bro. Awesome, dude. Let me just ask you one last question because I know you have a
Mhm.
lot to get to with Simon. If someone's like on the fence about working with me and joining the content operating program, like what's one piece of advice you'd tell them to maybe help them out?
I would tell them to just go for it. I mean, like, I don't know, like that was kind of the biggest thing for me. It was just like you
Don't
can't
overthink it.
don't overthink it. At the end of the day, like you just have to take action. You can spend it's analysis paralysis people get stuck in. There's okay, like you could browse your options online. You could do a million different things, but the people who are going to win are the people who just take action and take a risk because that's what business is about. It's not about you have to calculate things, you have to plan things out. You can't be stupid. But
Right.
you will have results. You have people in your program who are doing well. You have a community of people who are firing each other up like all the time. So if you're on the fence, I mean, just go for it. Be an action taker.
Yeah. You miss 100% of the shots that you don't take.
Exactly. Exactly. And that I think to myself, if I didn't join this program, I probably would have given up, to be honest, because
No,
I would.
no. Well, I'm happy.
Well,
I'm happy you joined then.
you know what I mean? Like I just think like I would have been 6 months in, I wouldn't have seen any return. I would have been throwing money into like these just like softwares. Like I was using Go High Level before because I thought I needed that. I was paying for Notion, like I was paying for all this stuff, losing money, um, with absolutely no results. So it just and having people as well, like who are succeeding around you. Um, I don't know about everyone, but me, I'm the type of person when I see that, it just makes me want it even more, you know?
It-
And
It's it's everyone, and I promise you.
I think most people are like that. If you see people like in your direct circle who are doing better and seeing success, it just inspires you to do better.
Yeah, it's you are the sum of the five people around you.
Yeah, seriously. So That's my piece of advice. Take action. Be an action taker.
Be an action taker. Yeah, dude, I
Yeah.
fully agree. I'm the same way.
Yeah.
Like I remember you mentioned college. Bro, I had a bet with my dad because I really wanted to drop out. I personally hated it, but I was doing business. I was doing something I wasn't really passionate about. Well, I am passionate about business, but not like college business.
Yeah, it's not really. I mean,
It's
yeah.
so outdated, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Um,
seriously.
we had a bet. He's like, yeah, like, you know what? Fine, you can drop out. And like my parents are super traditional, like Eastern European, so they really big on school. They said I could drop out if I was doing 20K per month consistently. And my first 20K per month, I just left.
Well, hey man,
It's
I mean,
killing me,
like, look,
bro.
it clearly worked out for you.
Yeah,
Like
but
that's
take act. Yeah,
awesome.
I'm not advocating to drop out because everyone's different, but at least
Yeah,
in
of
terms of the
course.
take action, like I can relate and it resonates to me as well.
100%. I mean, you could spend, like I said, you could spend like a million years figuring out what the most optimal decision is, but life is just a sum of choices you make.
Yeah.
And like, there's no real right choice. There's no real wrong choice. You're going to learn either way. But I don't know. I think at the end of the day, like, I don't
Cool.
know where I'm going with this.
There was this video. I'm laughing because I think it was last week's call. You were talking about the client like you were in love with him. Do you remember that?
Yeah, yeah, I do remember that. Oh
You're like,
God,
yeah,
that was
like I
funny.
want to be with him, and I was like,
He was talking about all this stuff, and I like him. He likes me. He's kind of got motion as well. Like, you know what I mean? Like, he's just like he's got a good personality. Like, he's like in terms of someone I want to be with. Like, he is like kind of a nice idiot.
that's
Like,
right.
how
Now
do
you
you
want
want
to
to
be
be
with
with him?
him, bro.
No, sorry, that was the worst way of wording that. You know what I mean? Though, in terms of someone I want to work with,
There
that's
you
the
go. There you
ICT
go.
right
Okay, all
there.
right, all right.
Um,
But it shows how motivated you are and
yeah,
disciplined, and that only happens when you're around other people who are
yeah,
like-minded.
yeah.
They
No,
they don't
totally.
put you down and they like motivate you and like we're laughing about it. I'm excited. I want to go land another client now.
Yeah, I mean, I totally got clipped there, to be honest. But yeah, I don't know. I'm just like, I'm super excited. I'm really like, I don't know. I'm motivated to really keep going. And like, obviously, I don't have everything figured out, but I mean, shit, I'm making more money than I was before. So,
That's all that counts.
and
And you're
it's all
learning,
just,
and you're learning.
and I'm learning exactly, and I'm learning, and I'm in a good community, and like, yeah,
I love it, bro. I love it. Well, I want to take up too much of your time. Appreciate the call, bro. Glad we can kind of
yeah, of
talk
course.
some of the strategy. And let's get moving on it. Let's give him as much value as possible, and then like eventually, I mean, you'll even renegotiate your rates and ask for more money when you get him results.
Yeah, I think that's the plan.
All
Cool.
right, perfect, bro. Thanks so much, and
Yeah, thanks,
we'll
Emil.
talk shortly.
Yeah. All right. Peace, dude.
See you, dude.